this every day. The town is full of predator, don't turn a little prey. I flip $1 million out of nothing, make them feel a certain way. Hoping that the switch.
What's good, y'all? Fisk Vegas, the hardest voice of sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fisk. You know why you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rock. Listen, hit that sub button. You know what I'm saying? Hit that sub button. Join the Fisk unit and shoot arrows out your arm like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. Alright, I had you saying get over here as soon as you hit that sub button. You know what I'm saying? We're on the road to 4K. Smash that sub button. With that being said, shout out to my guy, my quarterback, Daniel Jones. Alright, now Joe Judge came out and mentioned the severity of his injury last year and just praised him about how he actually stomached it, took his medicine, and played through it. A lot of guys wouldn't have played through it, and here's the thing, right? It means a lot for Joe Judge to say that, because when I say it, y'all just think, oh, Fisk Vegas loves Daniel Jones. There go Fisk Vegas slurping Daniel Jones again. But when Joe Judge says it, I feel validated. Because look, I'm a diehard fantasy football nut. I am. I'm a fantasy football maniac. Like, I love fantasy football. And around the time Daniel Jones was in and out the lineup was the best ball championships. You know, week 13 through week 17. You know, FanDuel, DraftKings, Underdog. That's the last time I'm mentioning them for free. But the best ball championship was around there. And I had a lot of Julio Jones. And I'm sitting back like, yo, Julio Jones hurt his hamstring. I ain't seen Julio for the remainder of the season. That dude Julio hurt his hamstring and was gone. My guy Daniel Jones came back in a week. Let that sink in. Quarterback comes back in a week. Stud wide receiver, muscles on muscles on muscles. His muscles got muscles. Was nowhere to be heard from for the remainder of the season. I don't know where Julio Jones was. I don't know what happened to him. But all I know is Daniel Jones injury, same injury as Julio Jones. My guy played through it. It got so bad with Daniel Jones last year that in week 17, I can't say this enough times, the same day that midget over in Arizona, Kyler Murray, choked to some backup quarterback in LA, Daniel Jones on no good leg at all. He didn't have a leg to stand on. One leg he got a hamstring injury. The other leg he got a damn ankle injury because he overcompensated. He went out there and beat the Cowboys. Daniel Jones on no legs beat the Cowboys. And what should have been the division winning, or should I say the division clinching game of the year, it wasn't that because the Eagles went on the tank. We all know the story. They will be dealt with accordingly next season. But if Daniel Jones didn't earn your respect, if you didn't have faith in Daniel Jones after week 17 with the season on the line, we're all in. Okay? We're all in. We don't got pocket aces. We don't got ace king. We got like 10 jack. Okay? We got like jack 10. That's all we got. Because our quarterback ain't got no legs. So we don't got ace queen. We don't got pocket queens. We got a jack and a 10. May the flop be on our side. Can we get an 8 or a 9? Can we get an ace or a king? Can we get something? That's all we went into the game with. And Daniel Jones won the pot. Daniel Jones won the pot with jack 10. That's what he did. You understand? So when it's all said and done, my quarterback is there when we need him the most. Your legacy is defined by moments. I know a lot of Giants fans who to this day tell me when they think of Eli Manning, they think of January 2011 when he got the shit beat out of him by the freaking 49ers. Remember Alden Smith, Aaron Smith? Remember all those goons on the 49ers borrowing, Patrick Willis. Remember Eli Manning getting helped up by his offensive line with the grass in his helmet in the championship game? Remember that? That's what a lot of people think of when they think of Eli Manning. They think of his toughness. They think of how tough he was. He never got hurt. He stood in the pocket. He took hits. I'm seeing the same thing from Danny. For him to win that game week 17 without a leg to stand on showed you courage. It showed you grit. And most importantly, it showed you he cared. You know why Daniel Jones won't fail? You know why this kid will fulfill the prophecy? It's because he cares. He'll die for this shit. This ain't Jay Cutler. You know what I'm saying? This is all Daniel Jones does. You saw how buff he got from year 1 to year 2. You see him organizing camps out there in Arizona or wherever they were. He's the guy. You don't win Joe Judge over with performance alone. You win Joe Judge over by the stuff we don't see. Your intangibles, your leadership, your toughness. That's why we believe in Daniel Jones. You understand? It's bigger than, oh, let me go throw 3 touchdowns and look pretty. No, what can you do when your offensive line can't block? And that's another thing. He went out there and knowing the offensive line wasn't going to block for him. That's the sad part. It'd be one thing if he had Green Bay offensive line. No, he knew his offensive line was trash and didn't have a leg to stand on and still went out there and played. Most quarterbacks would have packed it in. We had a losing record anyway. Most quarterbacks would have packed it in, but not Daniel Jones. He was there for us. Game 2 versus the Eagles, he was there for us. Don't even get me started on that game versus Tampa Bay where we got robbed. Daniel Jones gets the ball back under 2 minutes ago. Gets the game time touchdown, then they rob us on a 2-point conversion. Both games versus Washington were for the division. The first game we played versus Washington, somebody had to win it. We were winless. The second game we played versus Washington was for the division lead. He showed up both times. He showed up on Thursday night versus the Eagles. It ain't his fault every ankle can't catch. So I'm confident in Danny. And I love when Joe Judge has great things to say about him. This is New York. You know what I'm saying? This is New York. This is a concrete jungle. We don't want no pussy at quarterback. We want a tough guy. Somebody who replicates the city. And that's what we got. You feel me? They say your quarterback has to be your coach. He has to be a representation of your coach on the field. If Daniel Jones isn't a perfect representation of Joe Judge on the field, then I don't know what is. Minus the speeches. Not everybody can give a speech like Joe Judge. That's different. But I'm just saying the toughness, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got nothing else to say. Shout out to Joe Judge, shout out to Daniel Jones. And that's it. So subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fisk Vegas, and I approve this message.